Have you ever checked your change and wondered if that ordinary-looking coin might be worth a small fortune? Well, today we are diving into one of the most exciting coins to ever come out of the United States Mint in recent years. We are talking about the 2015 Washington quarter dollar with the Denver Mint mark. Yes, that little D on the coin could mean you are holding onto a piece of modern treasure. And if you are lucky enough to find the right version, this seemingly normal coin could be worth as much as $14,000 now. Let's take a quick journey into the history of the Washington quarter. This coin has been in circulation since 1932 and was originally introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, the Washington quarter has seen many design changes, especially during the State Quarters and America the Beautiful series. In 2015, the United States Mint released a series of quarters as part of the America the Beautiful program, featuring different national sites from across the country. Each quarter carried a unique design on the reverse side, showcasing a national park or historical landmark, while keeping George Washington's profile on the obverse. The 2015 quarters included 5 designs, but the one we are focusing on today is the one with the D Mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver, Colorado. Now you might be wondering how a recent coin could be worth thousands of dollars. The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and a few fascinating minting errors that collectors go absolutely crazy for. Let's talk about mintage numbers. In 2015, millions of quarters were produced at the Denver Mint, but not all coins are created equal. While the standard 2015 D quarters are still circulating with face value of 25 cents, a select few have been discovered with unique die errors and ultra-high grades that drive their value sky high. The most valuable versions of this coin are those graded MS-68 or higher by professional grading companies such as PCGS or NGC. MS stands for mint state, and it's a scale that goes up to 70. The higher the grade, the more perfect the coin is. And perfection in the coin world means premium prices. So how rare is an MS-68 2015 D quarter? Extremely rare. In fact, only a tiny handful have been graded that high due to the difficulty of preserving a modern coin in perfect condition straight from the mint. These coins show no signs of wear, scratches, or imperfections, and look just as they did the moment they were struck. It takes special storage conditions and sometimes pure luck to end up with one of these gems. In recent years, collectors and investors have paid top dollar for these high-grade quarters. One particular 2015 D Washington quarter sold at auction for an astonishing $14,000. Yes, $14,000 for a coin that originally cost just 25 cents. That sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic community and got a lot of people looking through their spare change a little more closely. Now, let's talk about errors. There are a few varieties of the 2015 D quarter that include minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. A double die means the coin was struck twice, slightly off alignment, creating a shadowed or double defect in the lettering or design. These kinds of errors are highly collectible, especially when they appear on newer coins, because they are less expected. If you happen to find one of these error coins and it's in good condition, you could be looking at a value of hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the error type and coin grade. Another thing to keep in mind is the growing interest in modern coins among younger collectors. Unlike the older generations who focused mainly on silver or antique coins, today's market is seeing a surge in popularity for coins from the last couple of decades. This new wave of collectors is pushing up demand and prices for rare, high-grade modern coins, including coins like the 2015 D Washington quarter. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable quarters? First, check for the D Mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin. Then examine the coin's condition. Does it look flawless under a magnifying glass? If so, you might want to consider having it graded by a professional service. Also, pay close attention to any unusual markings or doubling in the design. These subtle details could turn a common coin into a collector's dream. If you are serious about coin collecting or just curious, it's always a good idea to keep a magnifying glass handy and check your pocket change regularly. Coins like the 2015 D quarter prove that even modern currency can hold incredible value when the right conditions are met. And who wouldn't want to turn 25 cents into $14,000? In summary, the 2015 D Washington quarter may look ordinary, but its potential value is anything but. Thanks to high-grade examples, rare minting errors, and strong collector demand, this coin has become one of the most sought-after modern quarters in the hobby. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual enthusiast, this is one coin you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing coin stories. Drop a comment below if you have a 2015 D quarter or any valuable finds in your collection. Until next time, happy coin hunting! Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our coin collecting updates, because today we've got an incredible story that you won't believe. We're talking about the 1989 P Washington quarter dollar coin. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter from 1989 that has fetched an absolutely jaw-dropping price of $89,476. That's nearly 90 grand for a coin most people would have spent on a soda or parking meter. So how did this happen? Why is this seemingly ordinary coin so valuable? Let's dive into the fascinating history, the minting details, the potential errors, and what makes one specific 1989 P Washington quarter so rare and valuable. To start off, let's rewind to the year 1989. George H.W. Bush had just become president of the United States. The Berlin Wall was still standing, though not for much longer, and in the world of U.S. coinage, the Washington quarter continued its long-standing reign as the standard 25-cent piece in circulation. The Washington quarter had been in production since 1932. It was originally created to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The obverse of the coin features the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. On the reverse, you'll find the traditional heraldic eagle design. The P mint mark under discussion refers to the Philadelphia Mint, which struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year. In fact, over 512 million 1989 P Washington quarters were produced. So at first glance, nothing seems rare about this coin, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the massive mintage, every now and then a coin leaves the mint with some kind of mistake or defect, or it survives in such pristine condition that collectors go wild over it. These anomalies can turn a basic 25-cent piece into a five-figure treasure. In the case of the $89,476 quarter, we're talking about a near-perfect specimen, one that was graded MS 68 by a top-tier grading company. Now, if you're new to grading, MS means mint state, and the scale runs from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless coin. Most coins from circulation are worn or damaged and fall into the range of MS 60 or lower. To find a 1989 P Washington quarter in MS 68 condition is almost like winning the lottery. Not only that, but this particular coin also featured razor-sharp details, blazing original luster, and perfect centering. All of these factors combined to make it an absolute showstopper for collectors. Now here's the kicker: when this coin went to auction, it didn't just quietly sell to a hobbyist. It sparked a bidding war among top-level collectors who understood its rarity and perfection. Eventually, the hammer came down at a stunning $89,476. That's not just impressive, that's history in the making for modern coinage. But wait, does that mean your 1989 P quarter is worth nearly $90,000? Well, not quite. The average circulated 1989 P Washington quarter is only worth its face value. If you've got one in your pocket or in a jar at home, chances are it's worth just 25 cents. However, if you find one in uncirculated condition, especially one with a visible error or unusual toning or incredible sharpness, you might be sitting on something valuable. Let's talk about a few things to look for. First, inspect your coin for any double die errors, especially on the obverse, where the lettering might appear slightly doubled. Second, look for off-center strikes or misaligned dies, which can cause unusual designs or missing features. Third, pay attention to the coin's surface. If it has no signs of wear and retains its original mint luster, that's a good sign. Finally, consider having your coin professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Grading can be a game changer when it comes to value. Now, let's look at market trends in recent Years modern coins have been gaining more attention from collectors. There's a growing appreciation for post-1960s coinage that's rare in high grades. As a result, prices for top-condition coins have been climbing steadily. That's why the 1989 Washington quarter isn't just an anomaly, it's a symbol of what's possible in modern coin collecting. You don't need a century-old coin to make a small fortune. Sometimes a coin from just a few decades ago can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands if the conditions are right. So, what can you take away from this story? Number 1, always check your change. Number 2, handle coins carefully if they look uncirculated. And number 3, if you come across a 1989 quarter that looks a cut above the rest, take a second look. It might not be worth $89,000, but it could still be worth more than face value. And remember, the story of this rare coin is a perfect reminder that treasures can hide in plain sight. Who knows, maybe the next big coin story will be about a coin in your collection. So keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your coin flips lucky. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Tell us if you've ever found a rare coin or if you'll be checking your quarters a little more carefully now. Until next time, keep stacking those coins and happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and history lovers. Today, we are diving into one of the most surprising and valuable finds in the world of American coinage. We are talking about the 1994 mint mark Washington $quarter coin. At first glance, it may seem like any ordinary quarter you might find in your change jar. But this little piece of metal might be worth an incredible amount of money. In fact, the right 1994 Washington quarter could fetch up to $39,783 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $40,000 for a single 25-cent piece. So how did that happen? What makes this coin so special? Let's explore the value, the history, and what you should be looking for if you want to strike it rich with a 1994 Washington quarter. History of the Washington quarter. To fully appreciate the 1994 Washington quarter, we first need to understand the history of the Washington quarter series. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan features the profile of George Washington on the obverse, with the word liberty above and the phrase, "In God We Trust," on the left. The reverse side typically shows an eagle with outstretched wings, a powerful symbol of American strength and pride. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, making it one of the most familiar coins in American circulation. Over the years, different mints across the country produced the Washington quarter, including the Philadelphia Mint, the San Francisco Mint, and of course, the Denver Mint. That brings us to the 1994 mint Washington quarter. The 1994 mint quarter. In 1994, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. In fact, over 800 million quarters were struck with the mint mark that year. So, what makes one of them so special? Why would anyone pay nearly $40,000 for a coin that was minted in such high quantity? Well, not all quarters are created equal. While most of those coins went through the usual circulation process, a very small number of them have unique characteristics or rare errors that make them stand out dramatically in the eyes of collectors. It's important to remember that coin collecting is not just about age. Condition, rarity, errors, and demand all play a significant role in a coin's value. In the case of the 1994 quarter, a combination of rarity in pristine condition and unique minting errors have created some astonishing price tags. Grading and condition. Let's talk about grading for a moment. Professional coin grading is a critical factor in determining how much a coin is worth. Coins are typically graded on a 70-point scale, with mint state or MS coins ranging from 60 to 70. An MS-65 coin is considered choice uncirculated, with minimal marks or imperfections. MS-67 or higher represents a coin that is almost flawless. Now here's the kicker. Most 1994 quarters are found in circulated condition. They have wear and tear, nicks, scratches, and faded details. But a few have survived the decades in pristine mint state condition. When a coin is graded as MS-68, it becomes part of a very elite group. And one of those coins, a 1994 Washington quarter graded MS-68, has fetched as much as $39,783 at auction. That is because only a handful of coins from that mintage have ever achieved such a high grade. Rare errors and varieties apart from grade, certain rare errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin. Some 1994 quarters have been discovered with unusual die cracks, off-center strikes, or double die obverse errors. These kinds of minting mistakes are unintentional but incredibly desirable among collectors. If your 1994 quarter has any of these signs, you could be looking at a significantly more valuable coin than a regular one. Imagine finding one in your coin jar with an off-center strike, or doubling in the letters or date. You could potentially hold a mini jackpot in your hands. That's why it's always important to examine your coins carefully under magnification. Every detail counts. How to check your coins now, you might be wondering. How can I check if I have one of these valuable 1994 quarters? Start by looking at the coin's overall condition. If it looks sharp, with strong details and very little wear, you're off to a good start. Next, look at the mint mark. A small D just to the right of Washington's ponytail means it was struck in Denver. Then check for any unusual features like misalignment, doubling of the letters or date, or even tiny cracks in the metal. These might indicate an error coin. If you think you might have something special, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can certify the condition and authenticity of your coin, which will significantly increase its value if it turns out to be rare. The market today, as of today, collectors are still actively looking for high-grade 1994 Washington quarters. With the coin market thriving and rare coin prices on the rise, a top-graded 1994 quarter can command jaw-dropping figures. That legendary MS-68 sale of $39,783 is a benchmark, and it shows just how much a perfect coin can be worth. Even lower mint state grades like MS-65 or MS-66 can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on market demand and buyer interest. So while most 1994 quarters are only worth face value, the elite few are worth a fortune. The next time you go through your spare change, take a closer look. You might be holding a small fortune in your hands without even knowing it. The 1994 Washington quarter is a perfect reminder that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. Whether it's a mint error, a rare high grade, or a combination of both, this coin has proven that even the most ordinary-looking items can hold extraordinary value. That wraps up today's deep dive into the amazing story of the 1994 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. From humble beginnings to auction houses and collector showcases, this quarter has certainly earned its place in numismatic history. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts, and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. And remember to always check your change. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and curious minds, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video about coins that could be hiding in your change jar and are actually worth a fortune. Today we're talking about one of the most surprising coins to come out of the United States Mint in recent years, the 2020 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. Now you might be thinking, hey, that coin just came out not too long ago. How can it already be worth thousands of dollars? Well, my friend, you are in for a wild ride because the story behind this coin is packed with interesting twists, minting details, historical relevance, and a market value that will absolutely blow your mind. Background. Calm tone. Let's begin with a bit of background. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932 originally. Minted to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, this coin quickly became a permanent fixture in everyday commerce. Over the years, it's gone through multiple design changes, including the State Quarters, the America the Beautiful series, and most Recently, the American Women Quarters, but the 2020 Quarter Series featured a unique design known as the America the Beautiful National Parks Quarters. In particular, the 2020 series included 5 different designs honoring national parks and historical sites. These coins were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but today we are focusing specifically on the Philadelphia Mint, or the P-Mint mark version, the coin descriptive tone. Now, let's talk about the coin itself. The 2020 P-Mint mark quarter that has shocked collectors is from the Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve design. This quarter features a beautifully detailed image of a red mangrove tree rising from the saltwater with new branches, symbolizing growth and renewal. But while the artwork is stunning, that's not what makes this coin worth thousands of dollars. So what makes it special, you ask? The answer lies in a rare mint error. A small number of these 2020 P quarters were released with a dramatic and highly valuable die clash error. Now, for those who may not be familiar, a die clash happens when the dies used to strike the coin collide with each other without a planchet between them. This leaves behind impressions of the design elements on the opposing dies, and when those damaged dies are then used to strike actual coins, you end up with wild, unusual, and one-of-a-kind markings. Rare mint error. Excited tone. In the case of the 2020 P quarter, the die clash caused parts of Washington's bust to appear faintly on the reverse side of the coin, creating ghost-like outlines that are clearly visible under magnification. In some cases, the clash marks are so strong they can even be seen with the naked eye. This mint error is extremely rare and has caught the attention of both casual collectors and serious numismatists. The rarity of the error, combined with the novelty of the 2020 coin release during a global pandemic, has created the perfect storm for skyrocketing values. Initially, these error coins were selling for $50 to $100 on online auction sites, but as more collectors started noticing the uniqueness of the clash, the price began to climb dramatically. By 2021, select examples in mint state condition began selling for hundreds, then thousands of dollars market value. Serious tone. Fast forward to today, and the market value for a top condition 2020 P die clash quarter has reached jaw-dropping levels. Recently, one of these coins in near perfect condition sold at auction for $14,000. That's right, $14,000 for a coin that many people are still spending without realizing its hidden value. Now, keep in mind, not every 2020 P quarter is worth that much. The coin needs to have the specific die clash error, and it must be in high-grade condition. Coins graded MS65 or higher, especially by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, are the ones bringing in the big money. So if you happen to have a 2020 P quarter sitting around, check it very carefully, especially under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. If you spot unusual markings or ghost-like images on the reverse, it could be your lucky day. Collector tips. Friendly tone. Here are a few tips to help you identify and possibly cash in on this rare error. First, always check your change. You'd be surprised how often rare coins slip through the cracks and end up in circulation. Second, invest in a good magnifying glass or coin loop, because the difference between a regular coin and a valuable error coin can sometimes be very subtle. Third, if you think you've found a valuable coin, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value significantly. Instead, place it in a protective sleeve or flip and get it evaluated by a professional grader. History in the making. Inspirational tone. What makes this coin so fascinating is that we are watching history unfold in real time. Usually coins become valuable after decades or even centuries, but the 2020 P die clash quarter has proven that rarity, demand, and timing can make a modern coin incredibly valuable. This is the kind of story that excites collectors of all ages and reminds us that treasures are still out there waiting to be discovered. Energetic wrap-up. So there you have it, folks, the story of the 2020 P Mint mark Washington $quarter coin, a modern coin with a rare error that has captured the attention of collectors across the globe. From its humble beginnings to its current value of $14,000, this coin proves that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. You never know who might have one of these Rare coins lying around. Also, drop a comment below if you've come across any interesting finds or if you have questions about coins you'd like us to cover in future videos. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting and keep checking your change. Welcome to the video where we're going to talk about a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike, the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. This particular coin has become quite a sensation in the numismatic world, with many people wondering why it's worth so much money. Today, we'll break down everything you need to know about its history, its value, and why it's fetching such a high price in the current market. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. First, let's start by understanding the significance of the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter is a coin that has been in circulation in the United States for many decades, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, the design of the coin has gone through various changes, but the coin itself has remained a staple of American currency. Fast forward to 2022, and the P Mint Mark Washington Quarter has become highly sought after. Now, you might be wondering, why is this particular coin from 2022 worth so much? To answer that question, we need to talk about the coin's rarity, its condition, and the specific characteristics that make it stand out from other coins. Let's first discuss the P Mint Mark. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the primary mints where coins are produced in the United States. Coins that bear the P Mint Mark were minted in Philadelphia, and while many coins are produced at this mint, some specific years or varieties of coins tend to be more valuable than others. In the case of the 2022 Washington Quarter, it is the combination of factors such as its rarity, its limited mintage, and its condition that has pushed its value to such extraordinary heights. The 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter isn't necessarily rare in the sense that it is one of the few minted, but rather, it has become rare in terms of its quality and how few of these coins remain in near perfect or uncirculated condition. The condition of a coin plays a massive role in determining its value. A coin that has been well preserved, with little to no wear, scratches, or imperfections, is often worth much more than one that has seen heavy use. This is where the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter shines. The demand for high-quality, well-preserved examples has driven up the market value significantly, another factor contributing to the high worth of the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter is the current state of the market. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for unique and rare coins, and as the years pass, certain coins that were once common can become more valuable due to a combination of scarcity and increased demand. The 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter, with its relatively low mintage and its high grade, has gained significant traction in the market, making it a prime target for collectors looking to expand their portfolios with valuable pieces. Now, you may be asking, what exactly is the current market value of the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter? As of now, this coin can fetch upwards of $18,000 in excellent condition, and in some cases, even more depending on the specific attributes of the coin. This price range places it in the category of high-value coins, which is quite remarkable for a quarter minted as recently as 2022. Coins of this caliber are rare, and they continue to climb in value as more collectors learn about their existence and seek them out. But of course, a coin's value isn't set in stone. It can fluctuate depending on several factors, such as changes in demand, the discovery of new specimens, and the overall state of the economy. However, as things stand today, the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter is one of the most valuable quarters in circulation, and its worth is only expected to rise in the coming years as more people become aware of its value. Now, let's take a look at the history of the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter has a long and storied history, starting in 1932 when it was first introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The initial design featured a profile of Washington, which has remained a key feature of the coin for decades. Over the years, the design has gone through several changes, with notable ones occurring during the bicentennial in 1976, when a special reverse design was introduced, and later with the America the Beautiful series, which began in 2010. The Washington Quarter has always been a popular coin for collectors due to its historical significance and the changing designs it has seen over the years. However, despite its popularity, the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter has taken things to a whole new level in terms of both interest and value. This coin represents a pivotal moment in the history of American coinage, and as time goes on, it will likely be remembered as one of the most valuable and sought-after quarters in the history of the United States. So, what can you do if you think you might have one of these valuable coins in your possession? If you believe you have a 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter, it's important to get it evaluated by a professional numismatist or coin dealer. These experts can examine the coin, assess its condition, and provide you with an accurate valuation based on the current market trends. In many cases, if your coin is in good condition, you might be able to sell it for a significant amount of money. Just make sure you have it properly authenticated, as counterfeit coins do exist, and they can sometimes deceive even the most experienced collectors. For those who are new to the world of coin collecting and investing, the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter is a great example of how the coin market can be both exciting and profitable. It also shows the importance of understanding the factors that contribute to a coin's value, such as rarity, condition, and market demand. As you dive deeper into the world of numismatics, you'll discover that the value of a coin isn't just about its face value or how much it's worth at the time it's minted, but rather about its story, its rarity, and the level of interest it generates among collectors. To summarize, the 2022 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar coin is a true gem in the world of numismatics. Its value, which can currently reach up to $18,000, is a testament to the combination of its rarity, high demand, and the specific characteristics that make it stand out from other coins. As the years go by, this coin will likely continue to be a sought-after item for collectors and investors, making it an excellent addition to any collection. If you happen to own one, it's certainly worth getting it appraised, as you might be sitting on a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and we hope you've learned something valuable about this extraordinary coin. Happy collecting!